USC wide receiver, who we mentioned, Makai Lemon, asked what separates him from the draft class that he's going with and who he models his game after.
I'd probably say Amon-Ra St. Brown, type of grit he plays with, type of way he can have a positive impact, on the team without the ball in his hands. Power my fearlessness and my unwavering, ability, just to never back down, if things don't go right in the road, I ain't never gonna back down, tuck my tail. I'm a problem solver. I'm finna get through it.
Makai, you're not the biggest receiver, but you consistently play above the rim. What's the mindset? What's the approach? What makes you like that?
Just to dominate. I take this game very serious. My fierce competitiveness. This game very serious. It's the way I feed my family, so I ain't gonna let nobody in front of me, take that away from me. My best trait, probably the things I can do, after the catch. I could turn a 2-3 yard route into a big gain, or even possibly as a touchdown. And then, just my blocking, the way I can impact, the team, with the ball, without the ball in my hands.
So, Pete, I know you and I like Makai Lemon. There was some talk that some things did not go the way they were expected to at the combine. Concerned at all about that, or is that just kind of one of those things that you usually hear that about a couple of guys? Heck, it was Shador last year.
Well, I mean, the most important elements of the combine are the medical and the interviews. So that's the second one. So if it really just depends on what that means. If they're just saying he's sort of weird, then I don't care. If he hasn't been arrested for anything, he's not charged with beating up women, or God only knows all the other things that the NFL just happens to look over and ignore because guys carry themselves well and produce, then that's its own thing. If there's like an issue where he doesn't know the playbook, or he can't communicate, or all these other things that like would be verifiable issues, then yeah, that's a real issue, and you'd have to bear that out. This is why you meet with these guys. This is why you have to sort of figure out how they learn all this other stuff. But like, my fear is that this is the path to get him to fall to Baltimore, and then the Browns have to deal with him twice a year forever, and then he's just going to destroy them. Because like, there are all kinds of weird guys in the NFL who don't do anything, are harmless otherwise. Mac Hollins is one of the strangest people in the NFL who walks around barefoot, but it doesn't matter because he goes out there and plays well for the Patriots. Like, that's the stuff where you have to separate what is sort of a little bit abnormal versus what is a problem that's going to hurt your football team.